The meeting was meant to introduce the new CEO of the parent company. My manager chose that moment to perform authority. He announced my 10 years of service and presented a $10 coffee card. Laughter followed. He asked if I had used it. I felt the room watching me closely. I did not explain. I did not defend. I handed the card back and said it should go to the new boss because it reflected budget priorities. The smile left his face. The room went silent. Experience teaches when to speak once. The new CEO looked at him, not me. He asked quietly if this was true. My manager froze. That pause mattered. Leaders learn priorities from behavior, not speeches. A small gesture can reveal a large truth. I understood then that patience protects dignity. I let the system continue moving. For professionals who know time, the calm sentence often outlives noise. That morning marked the beginning of consequences I did not need to announce. It also signaled to experienced listeners that quiet leverage had already entered the room that day. Public humiliation is rarely spontaneous. It is rehearsed dominance. My manager believed that embarrassment created loyalty. He thought laughter would confirm control. Many managers confuse visibility with leadership. I had seen this pattern before. Younger executives often perform authority instead of earning it. They believe small rewards create obligation. They believe jokes erase imbalance. Experience teaches otherwise. When humiliation happens publicly, it serves one purpose. It tests whether the target will panic. Panic restores the performer's power. Calm removes it. That is why silence unsettles insecure leadership. As I stood there, I remembered something learned years earlier. You do not interrupt someone while they reveal their character. You let them finish. The new CEO was watching dynamics, not dialogue. He was measuring restraint, not compliance. My response was not clever. It was patient. Professionals who last understand this difference. Authority fades when exposed to time. Character does not. That meeting stopped being about me. It became a demonstration of priorities the room could not unsee afterward. 10 years is a long time inside any organization. It includes weekends lost and systems protected quietly. It includes fixing mistakes without credit and carrying institutional memory no report captures. The coffee card was not symbolic by accident. It was a statement. It told the room exactly how my contribution was valued. Not privately, but publicly. Experienced professionals recognize this moment immediately. Disrespect rarely arrives loudly. It arrives disguised as humor. When that happens, you learn who never understood your role. I did not feel anger. I felt clarity. The card was not about appreciation. It was about control. For people who have worked decades, this moment feels familiar. It is when you stop negotiating for recognition and start observing structures instead. The new CEO did not interrupt. He observed. That mattered more than applause. What younger managers miss is simple. Senior leaders notice what others normalize. They measure alignment, not gestures. 10 years reduced to $10 revealed more than intended and could not be taken back afterward. The laughter ended quickly. The new CEO did not smile. He did not rescue the moment. Silence replaced performance. He asked who approved recognition budgets. He asked how rewards were structured. He asked who decided what mattered. These were not aggressive questions. They were surgical. My manager spoke faster. He explained culture. He explained intention. He explained effort. Explanations often increase when confidence weakens. I remained still. There was nothing to add. Systems speak best when uninterrupted. What many people misunderstand is this. Executives do not react emotionally. They collect signals. Small inconsistencies carry weight because they reveal habits. The coffee card was no longer a joke. It was a data point. That meeting shifted from celebration to evaluation. Authority quietly changed direction. Professionals who have sat through enough transitions recognize this sound. It is the moment when a room recalibrates power without announcements. The new CEO was not impressed by hierarchy. He was measuring judgment. That distinction would decide everything that followed. Experienced leaders understand something simple. Patterns hide inside normality. Fraud rarely announces itself loudly. It blends into routine behavior. The coffee card raised a question. If recognition was treated lightly, what else was minimized? If loyalty was priced cheaply, where did budgets actually go? I did not investigate. I did not accuse. I simply watched systems react to scrutiny. The new CEO requested reports. He compared values to actions. He asked for independent confirmations. These steps are not dramatic. They are effective. What my manager failed to understand is this. Senior leadership does not protect performers. It protects organizations. Small gestures matter because they reveal how decisions are made when no one is watching. For professionals over 50, this lesson is familiar. Systems eventually expose their stewards. The $10 card was not the issue. It was the entry point. Once attention moved, their alignment was tested everywhere else. Structures that rely on silence struggle when observed. That is how consequences begin without confrontation or revenge. I never filed a complaint. I never followed up. I did nothing. That was the point. The system moved on its own once attention shifted. Reviews were ordered. Approvals slowed. Access changed quietly. Auditors arrived without urgency. Meetings were rescheduled. Reports were rechecked. This is how institutions correct themselves. My manager stopped speaking to me, not from anger, but from awareness. He understood the spotlight had moved. Professionals who have lived through enough cycles know this phase well. It feels slow, but it is decisive. Authority dissolves when accountability replaces performance. There is no argument to win. There is only exposure to withstand. I continued working normally. I did not celebrate. I did not explain. Silence protects clarity. What unsettles insecure leadership is not retaliation. It is watching systems operate without their control. Once questions exist, they do not disappear. They multiply quietly. That is how consequences grow roots. By the time they surface publicly, outcomes are already decided behind closed doors. It was not my response that froze him. It was the realization that the room had changed alignment. The new CEO was not impressed by dominance. He was attentive to judgment. That difference matters. My manager understood suddenly that authority had shifted above him. Performances impress peers. They do not impress ownership. The coffee card revealed priorities. Priorities reveal character. Character determines trust. Professionals who understand organizations know this chain well. Once trust weakens, access follows. I did not need validation. I needed time. Time favors structure over theatrics. That moment was irreversible. No explanation could restore it. The data had already registered. Many people fear confrontation. Few recognize observation as power. For those later in their careers, this lesson feels earned. You do not need to expose anyone. You allow them to present themselves fully. Systems remember what people try to laugh away. That memory lingers longer than embarrassment and decides outcomes far beyond the room. If you are listening later in life, remember this. Dignity does not require defense. When someone tries to minimize you publicly, observe carefully. Do not rush to explain. Explanations dilute leverage. Experience teaches when restraint is stronger than response. Organizations change leadership often. Structures outlast personalities. When transitions happen, details matter more than narratives. Do not fear being underestimated. Fear being understood too late. Silence is not weakness. It is positioning. The smallest moments reveal priorities most clearly. How someone rewards effort. How they speak when power is present. How they behave when watched. These signals travel upward faster than complaints ever could. You do not need revenge. You need alignment with systems that value judgment. If someone shames you over something small, ask yourself what they hope no one will examine. Because in the end, it is not the loudest voice that wins. It is the one who understands timing. And timing always favors those who know how to wait.